Got to hit the ladder a few times for Wayne. You feel me? Hey. Alright guys, welcome back to another video on my channel, man. So this is gonna be a bit of a different one because from UFC Fight Night, which I'm gonna be giving my predictions, there's honestly only 2 fights that I'm really interested in. The other few, I don't really know the fighters, or to be honest, I just don't really care enough to give a prediction right now. So with that, we're just gonna jump to the co-main and the main event from UFC Paris. First time the UFC is in Paris, so I mean, off rip, I already know the stadium is gonna be lit. I'm hoping literally everything about it is just lit. All right, man, jumping in to the co-main middleweight, Robert Whittaker versus Marvin Vittori. I'm really looking forward to this fight. So the craziest thing, both of these fighters have just lost to Israel Adesanya in their last few fights. Literally everyone else they've beat. So I'm extremely excited to see what happens with this matchup. Honestly, this might be the fight on the night. So Whittaker's last fight was Israel Adesanya. He lost, obviously. But now he's back. He's trying to rebound. I think, honestly, if he beats Marvin again, or I think actually for either one of these fighters, if whoever wins this fight and they win another one, I think they're back with a title shot. Like, honestly, even though they pretty much just fought him, I think if Israel, honestly, if Izzy loses, like we've seen Usman lose now, we've seen Nunes lose, we've seen so many champions lose. So it's like if Israel loses, then I could definitely see them being like 2 fights away. If Alex Pereira wins, or if Israel goes on to fight someone else after Pereira and loses, then I could see them being just like 1 fight away. Like after this fight, it's a very slim chance, but there is a chance that they could get a title shot. Also, real quick, talking about how all these other champions have lost, I think that's why it's so smart the way Izzy fights, because now the way that Izzy fights, he's able to keep his composure, he's able to keep his cardio up, he's able to do everything he needs to do and just be super technical, not need to risk anything, and he can just fight his fight. Also, I don't think it's up to the champion to push the pace. I think the challenger needs to be just going at it, being super aggressive. If they really want the belt, I think you fight and go get it, which I think that's why, although Izzy's fights are technically boring for entertainment's sake, they are super technical, and I think it's very smart the way he's fighting. With Pereira, I'm so excited to see what type of Israel Adesanya we get. Like, is he actually going to try to wrestle? Is he going to try to grapple? Or is it still just going to be striking and he's just going to be technical? Or is Pereira actually going to try to fight him and we get a good-ass fight, which, again, all here for. So, but anyway, going back to UFC Paris, Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vittori. Marvin's last fight against Paulo Costa really impressed me. There was all that bullshit about Paulo being super overweight, but Marvin was like, yo, fuck it, I don't care if he's overweight, I don't care if he's 20 pounds heavier, I don't care, I want to fight this dude. And I mean, during the fight too, you could clearly see that Paulo's just huge. Paulo was just so much bigger than Marvin, but Marvin went in there, took the hardest hits, stayed there, also delivered his own extremely hard hits, and then ended up winning the fight. And it was a clear decision too. He easily won. It just happened to go to decision. But that fight right there impressed me so much with Marvin Vittori. All that being said though, I think I'm gonna still lean with Robert Whittaker just because he's like, to me, I think he's the second best middleweight in the world right now, currently. Or that being said, Alex Pereira is a very close second too. So I think depending on what happens with this fight against Israel Adesanya, we really get to see how good Alex Pereira is. But at least until that fight, I'm gonna give Robert Whittaker like 2B for right now, just because we've seen more Robert Whittaker. I know he's a dog. Alex Pereira just looks like a beast, so that's why I'm gonna give Pereira the edge by a little bit. But for this fight, at least, I'm leaning with Robert Whittaker. And now we got the main event, man. This fight, again, very looking forward to, just because Serrogan, obviously, coming off a loss versus Francis Ngannou. Tai Tuivasa coming off of a win from Derek Lewis, which was a crazy-ass fight, too. Bro, honestly, I really don't know which way to lean. I would say before the Derek Lewis fight, Serrogan easily beats Tai Tuivasa. But now after seeing how Tai has an incredible chin and he can somewhat stay in the pocket, along with he can wrestle, and he's a hard hitter. You can tell Derrick Lewis is a powerful ass hitter. Tai knocked him out. like I honestly believe Tai Tuivasa has some crazy ass power, which he's probably gonna show. And I mean, with Ciryl Gane, it's like fighting Francis, where you really don't want to get hit at all, preferably, just because like they have the kill switch, they have the automatic wind it back. If they throw and it connects perfectly, you're sleeping. Like anyone's sleeping. So I think Ciryl Gane is probably gonna approach this fight like Francis. Hopefully he's improved on his wrestling as well, or at least he's worked on his takedown defense to where even if he is brought down, he can just pop back up and keep doing his thing. So with that, honestly, it's just where this fight happens. I think with my prediction, I'm going to go with Ciryl Gane. I think he's going to be more technical. All the leg kicks in the world, all the body kicks, he's going to be bouncing in and out. He's going to be fighting a super unorthodox heavyweight fight, because just the way he fights, no other heavyweights like him. I think Ciryl Gane is going to just put on a clinic, ideally. And then Tai Tuivasa, though, see, that's the crazy thing with Tai, is that if he gets that one hit, gets one or two good looks, just clean hits, Ciryl could just sleep. It could be in the 5th round. It could be whenever. Like, we have seen so many fights where the last minute of the 5th round, some crazy shit happens. Last time with Leon Edwards, that shit happened. This fight, same thing. Tai, last minute of the fight, could just hit him with some crazy shit, just sleep him. But besides that, I think I'm going to lean towards Ciryl Gane. Also, it's in Paris, hometown, first time in Paris. If Ciryl wins, he becomes an even bigger star, because he is the first superstar out of France. So I think that would be super dope. So yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to these fights. All right, man, now I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna hop on UFC Reddit. We're gonna go through like 2 or 3 of these, see what's actually cool. And the first one I saw is Jiri versus Glover. Glover's saying to fight in Brazil in January. Jiri's saying that he doesn't want to defend the title in enemy territory, and he also wants to fight this year. So in the sense of who I agree with, I get Jiri's perspective. I think they should probably just do this in Vegas or something. I think that it makes sense where he's coming from. At the same time, though, I would love to see a Brazil card. Honestly, I think if Charles ends up beating Islam, they should have Oliveira versus Alex Volkanovski in Brazil. That would be epic. They should have Charles, then throw Glover in there. That would be dope. Dude, imagine if they put Amanda Nunes in Brazil. I think that would be sick. That card needs to happen. I know Jose Aldo said he's retiring. I don't think it's official yet, though. So if Jose Aldo decides not to retire, decides to lace it up for one more fight, his retirement in Brazil would be poetic. Have it in Rio. The King of Rio retires in Rio. That'd be sick. So Brazil card definitely needs to happen. Rio card definitely needs to happen. But as far as this fight goes, I would definitely do it somewhere in the States. Talking about Volk, I don't know if you guys saw recently, but Volk was with Hezbollah. There was also a clip out of Hezbollah just taking like a cheeseburger or something, just smearing it all over Volk. It was fucking goofy as hell. Anyway, Conor decided to go on Twitter, be a little cokehead. I was basically just talking shit about Hezbollah. He's like, yo, I'm a volume. I would boot that little Hezbollah over a goalpost. Fucking goofy. Volk responded with, you'll have to go through me first. Leave my guy alone. So shout out Alex Volkanovski. Great dude. Volk would definitely beat the fuck out of Conor in an actual fight too. 100%. So this is just a wholesome ass tweet. Just shutting Conor's ass down. Oh yeah. And here's the Volk clip. Just so much goofiness, man. So much goofiness. Yo, look at this mofo. Shout out Hezbollah, man. That is it for this video, man. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the UFC Reddit. I'm gonna definitely be doing more of those whenever the fight card isn't like completely stacked. Like I would assume for the pay-per-views, usually the whole thing is stacked, so I'm probably gonna be covering more fights. For cards where there's only like 2 fights that I'm really looking forward to, I'm gonna hop on UFC Reddit, see a few cool topics, and talk about them real quick, man. But with that, be sure to check out everything in the bio. At least it's something I'm doing on my socials, man. So go comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Like on this video, subscribe on YouTube, all that other shit, man. Turn notifications on. But yeah, man, with that, I'm out of here. Peace.